Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning, January 24th. Hopefully you got through the snow okay, and we got more coming later in the week, but more on that later on. Nothing to worry about today. It's actually going to be sunny today, so we're looking forward to that. This is Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us. Linda Tebow is here. Good morning to you there, Linda. Nice to have you here with us. And Ed Carew made it in as well. Hi there, Ed.
Hello there.
And time for your first message from the Carew Investment Group, so we'll keep it on Ed and go right ahead. Hey, that rhymes.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street, at the corner of Clinton and Cumberland Street, right here in Woonsocket. Telephone number is 765-8880. The Carew Investment Group, we offer you personal investment management of your investment account. And depending on what you're looking for, we can put together a program to assist you with your 401k rollover, current income, retirement income. We'll put together a plan just for you. And we focus on using quality dividend-paying stocks of companies that you know, investment quality bonds and exchange-traded mutual funds, and we use the advantages offered by IRAs. You can contact Paul or Ed at the Carew Investment Group anytime for a free no-obligation portfolio review at 765-8880. Our office is at 68 Cumberland Street, and our phone number is 765-8880. You can also email me at ed@carewinvestmentgroup.com or visit our website at www.carewinvestmentgroup.com. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Okay, Ed, and we want to put Ed a little bit on the hot seat today.
Oh, goody!
Something I thought about over the weekend. So, as we heard last week, Ed, Microsoft laid off 10,000 of their workers.
Yep.
Only 5% of their workforce, but it's still 10,000 people. And then the word came out up in Boston, Wayfair laid off like 1,000 people or so from their organization. Is this a sign of recession, of big companies laying off a lot of people?
Is it a sign of recession?
Or recession coming?
It's a tough one to answer.
All right.
Okay. During a period of inflation, high rising interest rates, tech companies don't do well.
Okay.
So they're laying people off. Microsoft and a lot of the other companies are doing it. Salesforce.com, Meta, which is Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah. Okay.
So they're all laying off because most of those companies really hired a lot of people during the COVID times. Okay. So now they have to cut back. They have to realign. Now, is it a sign of recession? I don't know.
Okay.
All right. I don't know that we will or won't have a recession. It's hard to say you have a recession with 3.5% unemployment.
Right.
So
it's still so low.
Yeah, and it's also hard to say you have a recession when your gross domestic product is still at 4%. I mean, those numbers don't fit the definition of recession. But if you keep laying people off, well, I would think that they'll eventually find their way onto the unemployment rolls. So far, most of the people who have been laid off have found jobs.
Right away.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
So to answer your question, I can't.
Okay. Just a question that I had over the weekend. The other thing I heard it this morning, and for Ed, please, unless you know, Linda, please explain what the debt ceiling is. And I hear we're going to hit it, and then bad things are going to happen. So what's the debt ceiling?
The debt ceiling is the amount of money that has been authorized and spent by the Congress.
Right. So they want to raise it so the government can borrow more money. Is this a Republican Democrat thing?
It's not a Republican Democrat thing.
No.
It doesn't matter which party is in office. The debt ceiling it will continue to increase because the government continues to spend money. All right, they spend money for defense. They spend money for Your COVID shots were all paid for.
That's right.
All this kind of stuff. They spend money and they get money authorized. They say, oh, we've spent our limit.
Yeah.
Authorize more. So they authorize more. So that's pretty much it. It's not a big deal.
No. Okay.
Janet Yellen came out last week. She's Secretary of the Treasury, and she said, "Oh, we're going to hit the debt limit on Thursday.
Yes.
We're going to start taking extraordinary measures to
Sky's
pay
falling.
our bills.
Yeah. Extraordinary measures?
Extraordinary measures to pay our bills, but we'll be in big trouble by June."
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you read her whole speech, it was the same speech she gave 2 years ago, last time we hit the debt record. So how can it be an extraordinary measure when you do it every 2 years or every year?
Seems like an ordinary measure.
Yeah, it's a pretty ordinary measure. Yeah. It's pretty much to scare people, in my opinion.
That's what it sounded like. Oh, my God, we're going to hit the debt ceiling.
Yeah,
Oh, we're going to do
and
this.
the
And
Social
oh, my
Security
God.
checks
Yes,
won't go
Social
out,
Security
and
won't go out, right.
and the military won't get paid.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's
The only time it's going to be serious
Yeah.
is when Congress doesn't get paid.
that's
That's going to
it.
be serious, okay?
Then we're going to make something happen.
Until then,
Everything's fine. All right. Now, the other thing I want to move on to, we can either, I don't normally go controversial, but do we want to go controversial?
Yes, you
or do you
do.
want to keep it safe?
let's go for it.
Okay.
For it.
Over the weekend, we had the mass shooting in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Okay. We've had a couple of others since then.
yeah.
There was another one in California, and there was another one down south. But I'm sticking on the first one this time around, out in California. And how come, and I have my theory in this, how come you don't hear the politicians all out railing for gun control? Where are they? And how come 10 people died, and 10 people are hurt?
11.
Still-
There was
Is it
another
11
one.
now?
There
Okay,
There was
11.
another one this
11.
morning.
All right, 11 died. That leaves 9 still in the hospital.
No, I mean, there was another shooting this morning.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Out in California.
Yeah, it's 3
Okay.
days in a row.
Yeah.
Okay. How come no one's railing against? You can't hear. Oh, we got to ban all the guns. We got to ban all the guns. Ban all the guns. And I'm thinking, and here comes the controversial part: is it because, first of all, that first shooter out there in California was not a white male? He was an Asian male,
And he killed Asians.
and he killed Asians.
Yeah.
So therefore, where's the big rally? How come there's no
Yeah.
big rallying cry?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Is it
don't
because
know.
it doesn't fit the rhetoric of what we want single white males killing African Americans, because then we can and we all upset about it. But if it doesn't fit that, we don't pound the table anymore.
I don't know about that.
No.
I don't know about that. I thought it rather unusual, though, and they were celebrating the Lunar New Year, and
Yeah.
it's a big deal and everything, that a fellow
Asian, yeah, did the killing.
would do that.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of hate messaging and,
Mm-hmm.
and acts going on now that include the Asian population.
Yeah. But usually that's one race against the other.
Right,
against the Asians.
that's what I mean.
Not
I was
them against each
surprised
other.
to see
Yeah.
that it was a fellow
Mm-hmm.
Asian that was doing that, and trying to figure that one out. That's where I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Okay.
wondering about.
Yeah, I don't get it
more
either.
than where are the rest of the world.
Pounding the tables.
Yeah.
All right.
What I was thinking on that was California has the strictest gun laws in the country.
Yeah.
Working out pretty good, huh?
They do.
Yeah.
It's not working. Yeah.
I don't think it's got to do with the gun laws. I think it's got to do with the individual people.
I saw what is there a cable channel called Newsmax?
I think there is.
All right, it might have been that channel. And someone on there said we don't have a gun problem in the United States. We have a violence problem.
Yeah.
In the United States. I said, oh boy, he's so right.
Yeah. Well,
I
it's-
really
it's-
agreed with that.
Guns don't kill people.
People kill people. So,
You
all right.
know.
So, and we had 2 more mass shootings too. So
There
it
was
just
one,
it just
wasn't
continues.
Louisiana, wasn't it?
Yes.
Louisiana.
Yeah. And then another one back in California.
2 right back to back.
One's
in
near San
California.
Francisco.
Moon Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one was down close to
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, well, that's my controversy for the day.
Okay.
The other thing I brought up, our president has more classified
Yes, he
documents
does.
Yeah.
Yes,
in his
he
home
does.
dating back to when he was
a
senator.
Senator.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know how it got there. What? It's
Yeah.
just, although he does say, this is what I did read, he told his lawyers, okay, don't fight them, the DOJ, or the FBI, give them everything they want.
Well, of course he has to.
Well, now he does.
Well, come on.
But the point he's saying, I didn't know they were there. You didn't know they were there in your house? You had to have,
2 houses.
is it 2? You had to pick them up
yeah.
at some point, and they say top secret and classified all
Yeah.
over it,
Yeah.
and put in your car,
Yeah.
or the train when he took it, and drive it home.
Yeah.
Why does he have these?
Dating that far back.
Dating that far back? Things that make you go, And is it just him? It makes me. What does Nancy Pelosi have in her garage?
Yeah.
And Chuck Schumer, and Mitch McConnell.
And
I'm looking, trying to look at all of them.
All of them.
What are they all hoarding for themselves, and why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
So all right. So anyway, something to keep an eye on. All right, you're following this the story. This goes back to being nice. This little girl in Cumberland. Her name is Scarlett Dumata, and she is the one that got the half-eaten cookie and the half-eaten carrots,
Santa Claus. Yeah.
and gave it to the Cumberland police and said, "I want a DNA test done." She's 10 years old, by the way.
Yes.
To find out if Santa Claus is real.
Yeah.
So the Cumberland police took it, and they said, "Thanks, we'll give it to the lab," and they gave it to the lab,
He did.
and they said yes. And the Rhode Island Department of Health said the case was prioritized, and the forensics biology lab worked on the DNA analysis of the cookies, and they came back with an answer.
Yes, he is real.
They came well. They according to the DOH, Rhode Island DOH, the DNA unfortunately did not match anyone in the combined DNA index system, CODIS, which is used to identify DNA matches in cold cases. But they said, interestingly, there was a partial match to a 1947 case centered around 34th Street in New York City. So the plot thickens. All right. The department said more DNA samples from other known Santa encounters would be needed to make a more definitive match. So we'll see what happens next Christmas when more cookies, half-eaten cookies, show up. And with the carrots, they did DNA tests and said, sure enough, these are it's reindeer.
It's reindeer.
That ate the carrots. We don't know which reindeer because they're not in the system either. But they were able to identify by DNA that it was definitely reindeer. So Scarlett's mom asked her what she would like the outcome to be, in which Scarlett replied, she wants Santa to be real.
That's unusual for a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
In this day and age.
Yeah.
But
So-
I'm happy to hear that she believes.
The DOH put out a release, and they said, while our laboratory was able to supply the most current and technologically advanced methods to solving this case, we aren't able to definitively confirm or refute the presence of Santa at your home. So, it's still up in the air. Inconclusive is what it comes down to. It's the same thing
That's a great story.
It is a
I
great
think
story.
it's
I think it's actually going
in
nationwide.
this world today. That's
Yeah.
a great story.
It's right up there with they did the autopsy on Lisa Marie Presley, and they want to know what happened, what caused the cardiac event, and they said we don't know. We had to concur it or whatever they call it, confer it, because we don't have enough evidence. Or do they? I'm back to being back to controversy here. Or do they? I don't know. So things that make you go. She was laid to rest this weekend, by the way,
Was she?
at Graceland.
At
So
Graceland.
she's
As-
there with her
as she
dad
be.
and her
Yeah.
son and
Well,
her
that's
and her grandparents. So
There you go.
so we had a here in Woonsocket. It happened 2 years ago, where a man, I don't have to say allegedly, ran over his girlfriend at the time.
Oh, yes.
He was sentenced yesterday and got life in prison with parole possibility.
Possibilities.
I think he got life plus 5 years. They tacked on 5 years because he left the scene of the accident.
Right. right,
So,
yeah.
okay. He now actually pled guilty to second-degree murder. He was they were actually going for first degree, and I guess they pleaded it down. Life in prison, possibility of parole, murdering his girlfriend Erica Belcourt. His name is Jason Grilly. He's from Pawtucket. Prosecutors said Grilly ran over her during an argument in the parking lot of their residence at Walnut Hill Apartments in Woonsocket. And at the same time, another person in South County, Kara Kenyon, sentenced to 7 years in prison for a DUI crash that killed a pedestrian near his South Kingstown home. And both of those incidents happened in 2020. And then we had a man over the weekend that got hit. He was crossing the street at Cass Ave, where Wood Avenue is, got hit by 2 cars.
Oh, wow.
It was 8 o'clock at night, so it was dark. According to Woonsocket Police, not in the crosswalk. And so it looks like he got hit by one car, bounced off that into the other lane, got hit by another car. Right now, the 2 drivers they say they were not impaired, and they haven't been charged with anything yet. So it looks like it's just a really, really bad accident
I guess.
that happened there. So, all right, so that's what's going on there. I have nothing else controversial.
All right.
I'll have to try to come up with something. In the meantime, though, we could go with this one. We'll see. All right, Ed, time for a second message from the Carew Investment Group.
And during the break, you'll come up with something controversial.
I'll
right?
try. I'll try.
Okay. Thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. If you're looking for an investment firm that puts you first and works hard on your behalf, I'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket. We've been in business since 1987, so you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor. I'll work with an advisor based in Boston, New York, or who knows where, probably someone you're never going to meet. And we encourage our clients to come to the office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings and free consultation, find out about the best way to invest your money, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. And the Coffee and program will continue. You can call in your controversial topics at 766-1240. At Dean Bank, their focus is on helping their customers achieve financial success. Dean Bank is a full-service bank, so they're able to deliver solutions that solve financial problems of all shapes and sizes. And as your neighbor, it's their mission to make a positive impact within the communities where they live and work. Dean Bank offers scholarships to students from participating schools, sponsor local charitable organizations, and more. Visit one of their local Blackstone Valley branches in Bellingham and Blackstone today, or find us online at deanbank.com. Dean Bank. It's my bank. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON, AM, and FM.
All right, it's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. Okay, not too controversial, but I'll try my best.
All right.
But Catholic, the Archdiocese of Providence, the bishop, Thomas Tobin, and he's not going to be bishop for too much longer.
No, the other one.
When does he retire?
What did he say? April? Or something like in
Yeah.
spring, I think, yeah.
His replacement's already come down and
Right,
said hello.
to work with him, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Thomas Tobin, he's not happy with the proposed state budget. He says it has a serious flaw. Linda, you want to guess what the serious flaw is?
Probably because money is being allocated for abortion.
Give the little woman a little Cupid doll, Ed. You're absolutely right. $600,000 is in the budget for abortion coverage for those enrolled in Medicaid or the state employee health insurance plan. The bishop says abortion is not health care. He calls it an abomination. Tobin argues Rhode Islanders don't want their money used to pay for abortions. Okay, that last sentence I completely disagree with. I would say most Rhode Islanders would want their abortions paid for by the state if they didn't have to pay for it.
There's a lot of things that this Rhode Islander doesn't like what some of the
That
things
gets
we're
paid
paying
for.
for.
Well, that's right. So this isn't the only one. So there's a lot out there. But obviously, it's not surprising that Thomas Tobin would come out against.
Well, of course.
He wants zero
Of course.
money
Right.
for that. Take that 600,000, put it somewhere else. But he doesn't want it for this. But of course, he's got to come
And
out
I'm
for
sure
it.
those people that are pro-life are absolutely against it as well.
Well, sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely.
They don't want their tax money going to pay for that,
Right.
and yet it is. So,
there
and they
you
got
go.
no say on it. So
No. Yeah.
Sorry about that. So it's no surprise that he came out with this. Another story. Also, this is out of Providence. A pizza delivery driver said his car was stolen at gunpoint last night in Providence. He actually came out and he was quoted as saying, I don't have his name, but he goes, basically your pizza delivery guys are basically we're rolling driving ATMs. People know it, and they're very easy targets.
Yeah. But it's a dangerous job.
It is a dangerous job,
Yeah,
especially
it is.
in the inner
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah.
It's going to be even
Yeah.
more dangerous.
Yeah.
And I know of some pizza places, have an actual list of addresses where they will not deliver. Nope.
Oh.
We don't care what the TV commercial says.
Yeah. Right. No.
You come here to get. If you want it from us, you come
Yeah.
here because we are not delivering to that
Yeah.
particular area. Mostly because they've had too much of this.
Well,
Too
right.
much of our drivers getting robbed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when we're not putting our drivers in harm's way, so no, we're not doing it. So, which is a pretty smart thing to do, I guess, if you're the owner
Well, you've got to
of the
protect
pizza
the
shop.
people. Right.
You do. All right. The new train is up and running for the
Yes.
T, and the new Pawtucket Central Falls line. The new stop is there. I don't know how this affects people that are north of the Pawtucket Central Falls stop, because now with an extra stop, that means their stop is now later than it used to be.
Right.
So if you were picking up the train at Attleboro,
Attleboro, Franklin. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
the train's late. Well, they're making an extra stop now. So,
Yeah.
and so the governor rode the truck. You can see it on the front page of today's
Yeah.
call.
No, I didn't.
There's a picture of the governor and the lieutenant governor. I'm going to assume for a minute that they got on the train in Wickford and rode it all the way to Pawtucket. And then, well, there's no need to go on to Attleboro.
Right,
It's in the
right.
next state. So they had the inaugural run. I say, isn't that nice?
That's good.
And I bet they didn't pay for it.
I bet. But it was a good
Controversial. I had to pay for it.
Good photo op.
We paid
Good
for it.
photo
We
op.
paid
That's
for
why
it.
they wouldn't come into Massachusetts. They don't have a passport.
That's right. We need that, right?
Right.
I upset the word. We got the word yesterday, or over the weekend. Maybe it was over the weekend. That the Rhode Island National Guard Open House Air Show will not take place
Yes.
this summer at Quonset Point.
Dave is so disappointed.
Did he? Did he like to
Yeah.
go
Oh, we used to go almost
every year?
every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when the kids were little. Yeah, we used to go. It was quite an event.
So you saw the Blue Angels and
Oh
all
yeah,
those.
they're awesome.
It's exciting,
They
isn't
are
it?
awesome, and then we actually got to see them. You know, we were always where they boarded the planes and they do their ceremony first.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they did
It's-
something like that.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
a whole thing.
It's
huh?
it's very impressive.
Yeah.
It is a very impressive show, but you got they're having construction down there.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And oh, by the way, they're deployed.
Oh, okay.
The National Guard, they're
We're needed
deployed
other places.
to different places. You know.
All right.
So that's that. Have you ever been, Ed, to the show? No. It's really it's an awesome, very awesome thing to see.
They haven't had a show since 2018.
2018,
due
yeah.
to deployments,
Yeah.
and then the pandemic happened.
And
so.
then the pandemic happened.
But you're right. Every person that I've ever spoken to that has seen it has all said, like before they went, oh yeah, well maybe, they didn't, they don't think too much of it. But then they go and they said it's the most exciting thing
It is. It really is.
to go and see.
It really is, and
And they're so
and
impressed.
if you have young people, kids like as we did when the kids were little. Now they're adults, but they'd have those big planes, like the big cargo planes that they could actually get on.
Oh, and walk through
and
them?
walk through them.
The C-130.
Yeah, is that?
What he said.
What he said. Well, Dave knows all that, but I'm like, yeah, big plane. But so it was quite an experience for them.
And do you walk through the plane and say, do you wonder how does this thing stay in the air?
Well, it's huge.
'Cause it's monstrous, yeah.
Huge, huge. But they had all these things that that the kids could see, and place was packed.
Yeah.
It was, and there's no entry fee, you could donate something or whatever, and it's just awesome, really an awesome show. So
But it's too bad they're not
needless
having
to
it.
say, Dave was very disappointed
Yeah, they're
because
not having it this year.
he's like, oh, I'm gonna find a show somewhere because he
Where
was
is the
playing-
next closest one after
I don't
Kwanzaa? Is
know.
it, does
I
Massachusetts
don't
have one
know.
somewhere?
Do you have? Yeah, you must.
But on the where? It must be at Otis Air Force Base.
Otis.
Fort
Well,
Devens?
you got Fort Devens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard of any. They said, oh yeah, the
But I
air
mean,
show takes
this,
place. over there.
Quonset, I mean, that was the perfect place.
Oh, there's so much room.
So much
Yeah.
room, and
But no shade. I brought that up yesterday. There's not
no,
a tree to be seen.
I mean, one of the things that they did when you were going through the line and going in, they hand out sunscreen.
Oh yeah.
Because,
okay.
and I remember having sunscreen on, but you're doing this.
Yeah.
Looking up.
Right into the
And the
sun.
sun is just beating down, and you end up with the sunburn. But it
All
was
right.
quite an experience.
It's too bad. So maybe it comes back someday. So Ed, up in Massachusetts, former mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh.
Yeah.
Currently, he is the U.S. Secretary of Labor.
Yes. Yeah.
His name is being kicked around to become White House Chief of Staff. I think he's on the short list, as they to use a good cliche. The current Chief of Staff, Robert Klain, he just decided to step down.
I thought they had his replacement already.
No, have you heard? Really?
No.
I did see a name, and it wasn't him.
It
but
wasn't
I'm
him?
not surprised
You're
that
right. Wasn't
Marty
him a
Walsh
name?
would be on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, there
It's
was a name.
He's a potential successor.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have a. But the New York Times reported over the weekend his name has surfaced among a handful of possible replacements.
Really?
So
Doesn't surprise me because he and
No.
Biden
Are they
close. Yeah.
okay, and I guess that's why he didn't run for mayor again, because he got a good job with the federal government.
Well, yeah.
So would you say he's doing an okay job, a good job with as Secretary of Labor?
I have no idea.
No, you can't. All right, no opinion on that.
Not that I have an opinion. I just don't know.
Oh, all right.
No, yeah.
We have them down here in Rhode Island, but just in case you were wondering, there's a 24-hour IHOP in Boston, and it's going to close. Mm-hmm. City's been notified by a developer that the plans will be filled to build affordable housing, retail, and research space at the site on the Soldiers Field Road in Alston. In addition to the International House of Pancakes, there's an old motel and a car dealership on the property targeted for development. So not only they're going to close. We're going to tear it down, not just close. We're getting rid of it altogether. Do you like IHOP, Linda?
Not really. I
No?
mean,
It's okay.
it's I'm not one to go out to breakfast, so
Okay.
or even late at night. Yeah.
No, okay. Ed, IHOP.
I don't remember
The
ever
last time
going
you,
to one.
ever.
I don't
Ever,
think-
ever.
I don't think
I mean,
I-
I remember going to,
Did you go
I think it was
Bickford?
Cold Stone Pancake House on
Oh
Route
my
1. I
God.
think that was the name.
That was the name. It's now a McDonald's, right there in North Attleboro.
That's,
But not at Bickford's. You remember Bickford's?
yeah, I remember that.
Okay, you
I
ever go
remember
there?
going to eat to both of those.
Okay,
But I
but
don't
not
remember
an
ever
IHOP.
going to a IHOP.
Really?
There
Okay.
is one in Raynham, though,
Okay.
right on Route 44.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Howard Johnson's breakfast?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where I used to go there sometimes.
But Cold Stone, not Cold Stone Creamery, the ice
Yeah,
cream
I like
place.
the Cold Stone Creamery. Yeah.
Cold Stone Pancake House
Yeah.
was way ahead of its time
Yeah.
because they had something on their menu that now you can get everywhere. But at the time, and we're talking like the 70s, the only place to get it was there. And it sounds like a bizarre combination, but it's actually delicious. It is fried chicken in pancakes.
Okay.
Is a great combination because you dip the fried chicken in the syrup.
That's like chicken and waffles.
Well,
only
same thing.
Pancakes.
That's right.
Yeah,
but they
right.
did it first.
Really?
And now chicken and waffles has become
Chicken
a
and
huge
waffles,
thing,
that's a huge thing,
everywhere
sure,
now.
yeah.
But in the, I told my friends when I was like 10,
Yeah.
and went there, and this is what I got, and they're like, "That's weird. you, why would you do that? Oh, if you can't, you got to dip the fried chicken in the
Never-
syrup.
Yeah.
never
There
had
you
that.
go.
I know Stone Forge will occasionally do as a special chicken and biscuits with sausage gravy.
Oh, then the sausage
that is
gravy.
good.
That's good. Sausage gravy. Yeah, that is really good.
Uh,
Making me hungry.
so speaking of Raynham, I brought up the IHOP is on Route 44 in Raynham. Massachusetts is turning the old dog track
Yeah.
into a sports betting.
I
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
that on
Complex.
the news this morning.
Now,
yes. Yeah.
years ago they had the vote there, and they kicked the dogs out. Used to be dog racing there,
Yeah.
and they turned it into a pari-mutuel, basically, where you could go bet on horse racing around the country.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's okay. That was okay. I don't think they have any slot machines there. It was just that thing. But now that sports betting is coming to Massachusetts, January 31st, by the way, that's all that's going to be, is just a sports betting parlor.
You said the biggest in the United States.
Well, it's huge. Have you ever been there?
No.
Eddie, have you ever been in there?
Yes.
The property is monstrous. I mean, you can fit 10,000 cars on just a park. They got huge crowds, I guess, when they had the dog racing, and their building is massive too. So they're gonna have that, and they're gonna have restaurants and bars and things like that for you to stay and have a good time, of course. But yeah, it's just sports betting and bet on everything, I guess, that you could possibly bet on. It's not really your thing, Linda, but I get it.
Isn't. But when they said it's going to be the biggest one in the United States, and my first thought was, and that's something to be proud of, huh? That's like, really?
Well, you gotta hang your hat on.
Really?
You gotta hang your hat on something, I guess.
Really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
I mean,
They can always say
that was my
we
impression.
gotta-
That was my opinion.
So it didn't did nothing for you, huh?
No.
All right. We're going to take a break here in the Coffee Air program. Time for a look at the weather forecast. Snow is in our future, and the forecast is being brought to you by Unbound.org. Let's hear from Dave right now.
Gradually becoming sunny today with a high of 39 degrees and a breeze from the west up to 24 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 24 and a breeze from the west. Wednesday's weather, a 60% chance of snow is likely, mainly after 4 p.m. Cloudy skies, high of 35, new snow accumulation of less than an inch possible Wednesday. Wednesday night, another 1 to 3 inches on top of that as rain and snow mix. Will become all rain after 11. Snow could be heavy at times. Overnight low of 31, 100% chance of precipitation Wednesday night, and gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Thursday, a 60% chance of rain likely, mainly before 10 a.m., mostly cloudy skies all day, high of 51, and a breeze up to 33 miles per hour from the southwest. Friday, sunshine and 34. Saturday, sunshine and 43. Sunday, cloudy skies and 42. And on Monday, the temperature will be about 42 degrees. There is a 30% chance of rain and snow on Monday, mostly cloudy skies.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, we have cloudy skies at the moment and temperature reading of 33 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
So you're remodeling your home, and you want to find just the right flooring. So off you go to DRL Carpet. Why? Because they have the best selection and prices in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. That means you don't have to wait. Plus, it means you can get it installed now. So first you get the best price, next you get the best service, and you get the best selection. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, hardwood floors, the place to shop is DRL Carpet, 27 Veterans Way, Woonsocket, next to World War II Veterans Memorial Park. DRL Carpet reminds you there's a big difference between getting the job done and getting the job done right. DRL Carpet of Woonsocket. Hi, this is Joe Callahan, your maitre d' inside the Tiki Bar, heard Monday nights at 6 on ON Radio. It's 1 full hour of Jimmy Buffett music. The Tiki Bar is brought to you by Attorney Bob Lauder, the Carew Investment Group, Pep and Lumber, and Family Discount Furniture.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. We had this story yesterday. It's actually a good story. In all of 2022, TSA agents at Green Airport confiscated 3 guns.
Wow.
But only 3
Only 3.
for the entire year
Where is this?
at Green.
At Green.
Green.
Green Airport, in all of 2022, TSA confiscated 3 guns. So that's not bad.
No, that's not bad. It's not bad at all, but it still surprises me that
Other people try.
people try.
And they-
what,
and-
what are you thinking?
Well, a lot of them, I'm sure a lot of them say, "Oh, I didn't know it was in there."
Come on. Come on.
I know.
Who packs your
you know,
bag?
I know Dave tells a story of losing a knife through TSA. My brother lost what he had in his bag. It was like a sewing needles. They wouldn't let. It was in his bag. He forgot it was there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him take it on, so they just take it and toss it away, or they
But a
confiscate
gun.
a gun. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it, Linda. But a lot of people they throw it in there, and do they just forget it? I don't know. Or are they trying to get away with something? I don't know. I think the national number was 6,500 last year
Right.
around the United States. So 3 out of Rhode Island
No, 3 is, I mean...
is pretty low.
it's pretty low.
They looked at the 6 New England states. Logan came in first, just because they're so busy. 31, still pretty low, but still a lot at the same time.
It is.
Of people trying to get their getting guns through TSA, and I don't know how they think they're not going to get caught if they're trying to pull something. Okay, a mistake is a mistake, but how do you prove a mistake too?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I can see, like, I mean, a lot of people, a lot of men used to have like a pocket knife, a jackknife.
Yeah, that
kind of-
happened to
Yeah.
me with just a little
A
knife.
little knife.
Yeah, like a
just a
jackknife.
little thing,
And
and
I don't know
happened
if
to me.
people still carry those, but I know.
I don't anymore. After
No.
that time,
Yeah. But, and I can see something like that because it's something you normally carry, not to go stabbing people.
No,
but
right. Always used to carry that.
like
Used to
Boy
open
Scouts, yeah.
envelopes with
Oh,
it, and,
right,
whatever
exactly.
else.
Yeah.
And it was when the TSA first started.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when they first started checking you for all that kind of
Right,
stuff, and
yeah.
it just never dawned on me that a
That
little
it-
knife
that
like
it's
that
not considered
would
a
be,
weapon.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But
You
now
know.
everything, even
Everything.
knitting needles, can be a
Yes.
weapon. Right. Yeah.
I'm always concerned when I'm going through TSA and I got my disposable razor.
Yeah.
I guess
yeah.
it could be used as a weapon.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, if
that's
you think about
okay.
it-
They don't bother you for that, but
No,
I
they
wouldn't
don't.
try to get out with a straight edge.
No.
Well, that's a good point. I don't use a straight edge, so it's really not a
No,
problem.
no, I don't
but
either.
I mean,
So-
if you would, that could be. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd probably take it
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
But even when I do fly and I use the same luggage, I use the same bag, I still check it just in case someone was funny and slipped something in there when I wasn't looking.
Somebody
I
put a-
know nothing's going to be in there.
Somebody
but,
put an AR-15 in his bag, all disassembled.
that's not mine.
I don't even know how to put it together.
I can't even put it together.
Gee whiz.
Sir, come with us. All right. Ed.
Yes, sir.
Jane, your wife Jane, she used to work at Tufts, right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Tufts Medicine announced 70 of its employees have been laid off,
Really?
and 170 other vacant positions will remain unfilled.
Really?
Yes. Layoffs by the parent of Tufts Medical Center in Boston come after the company reported losses of nearly $400 million for the fiscal year that ended in September. How can they keep operating at losing $400 million? I don't know. The job cuts are expected to save Tufts Medicine around $22 million a year in payroll costs. Tufts is also carrying a lot of debt and is taking steps to make sure it is generating enough cash to repay their debts. So, she doesn't still get phone calls to say, please come back, does she?
No.
Okay.
No, but gets them from other places.
Other medical places?
Oh, yeah. That's amazing. Everybody's wanting, looking for nurses and everything, and they're laying them off.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Do they want her to come back on like on a per diem situation, or do they want her to
They
come back
just
and join
want
the staff?
Any way.
Anything you can do.
A per diem or whatever. She had a minor surgery. I mean, she didn't. Yeah, she had a minor surgery this summer, and the doctor that performed the surgery asked her to go work for him.
While she's there on the table.
Yeah, well, no, not then. But she had to meet him before
Oh,
and,
okay.
and stuff like that.
How about
And so
coming
he
back
come
and working
work
for me?
Yeah, that was at Beth Israel.
Wow. It seems like she could write her own ticket.
Pretty much you can.
She should be up there
yeah.
saying, "All right, I
Yeah,
want
the numbers they were
$10,000
throwing
bonus
around,
and,
the numbers they were throwing around, especially during the COVID
Yeah.
stuff, like
astronomical."
she was getting offers to go to such and such a hospital in New York, all expenses paid. They'll put you up. They'll pay for your food, $10,000 a week.
Wow, really?
Yeah, for like a 6-month contract or whatever. Yeah, it was nuts.
Wow.
I mean, she didn't go obviously, but
Did she consider it?
not really.
No. Okay.
No, it's
Wow.
amazing because, I still get stuff and I'm old.
I saw
That's
something
what's
similar
so
to that.
shocking about Tufts laying off
Yeah.
people.
I'm not sure where it was. I don't think it was in New England, but there was a McDonald's somewhere, and the manager, because they were so short-staffed, paid out of his pocket, begging his employees to stay. On top of probably the $15 you were getting an hour, he paid them $50 an hour to stay and
Wow.
and work another like 4 hours. And they did. They
Well,
said,
yeah.
we're not passing up $50 an hour to make burgers because they're just some are just so short staffed.
Right.
Some around here still closed down the store part. And it's just only the drive-throughs open because
Yeah.
that's all we can handle.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I think, I was thinking, I have experience in fast food. If
There
I start
you
throwing
go.
on $50 an hour, it might be
There
a
you
chance to
go.
brush off my Burger King skills. All right, let's see. This is up the road in Rentham. Ever go to the outlets, Linda, in Rentham?
Yeah.
Ed, ever go to the outlets in
Been
Rentham?
there, yeah.
Oh, okay. 3 men from Washington. It is amazing that people come from all over the Northeast to shop there.
Well, they have quality stores there.
But 3 men from Washington, D.C. area are facing charges accusing them of a smash and grab from the Gucci store in Rentham. Gucci's the high-end handbags, right?
Yeah,
How much
right,
did they go
yeah.
for, Linda? Any idea?
Lots.
Lots?
Lots. I mean,
$500?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
$2,000
Oh,
for a
up in
handbag?
the $1,000 range for
What's it
Gucci.
made out of? Is it just the name?
They are well made
Well, they better be.
and carry a very good name on them.
I want to put them under a truck and run over it a few
Yeah.
times to make sure it doesn't bust. Anyway, the suspects allegedly smashed the window of the Gucci store at the Rentham Village outlets, grabbing around $32,000 in goods, and then taking off. Grab as much as you can, and we're out of here. Suspects then returned to Washington, D.C., and they began selling the items, which is what you do, I guess. Grand jury has indicted the 3 men on charges of conspiracy and transporting over $5,000 in stolen goods. Does that make that a felony then? If it's over $5,000 in
That's,
goods?
I would say. Yeah.
Got to remember, cameras everywhere. Cameras inside the store. Cameras outside the stores. Cameras in that huge parking lot.
Yeah.
So they see 3 men carrying purses. It attracts attention.
It does. It does.
And of course, they're going to catch your plate with the Maryland or Virginia or whatever, or the Washington, D.C. plates, and they'll say, okay, let's call Capitol Police down there and say, hey, what do you got on these guys? And so they got them. But they come from all over, mostly New York. Washington, D.C. is the farthest I've seen people coming away, all the way to Rentham, Massachusetts, just to buy items.
Well,
Is
they
there
have-
no other outlet stores?
Well, there
in
are.
the middle?
They have them at in Connecticut. Foxwoods. They think they do have in that neck of the woods in Connecticut. But Rentham has very, very good stores there. A lot of high-end stuff. Those outlets are good.
And I've been there. Depending on the store you go to, and I guess depending on the deals, I don't find their prices that great. But
But if you went to the store that wasn't an outlet, you'd see that that's the prices they have is very good.
Are they very good? Okay.
Compared to what, yeah.
Although I did get a good deal. My daughter wanted a certain pair of Converse sneakers
Yeah,
that I could not find
yeah,
at like a Target or a Walmart.
yeah,
And there is a Converse store.
yeah.
Went right there, had exactly what I was looking for
Yeah.
in the exact right size. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, there you go. Okay. Nice. All right. We're going to take another break here and coffee in, but Linda's got to go.
Yeah.
She's
I
got
do.
a meeting at 9 o'clock,
I
right?
do.
Is it a tap dance thing? Is it an ice skating thing?
Well,
No, I'm
well,
kidding.
no, actually, it's a work thing.
Oh, it's a work thing. Oh, bummer.
Hopefully, I'll be finished the meeting so that I can tap dance after.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Linda.
See you next week.
And we'll see you next week. Very good.
Cha-cha, y'all.
All right.
I'll look
This
for some more controversial topics.
could you? That would be awesome.
That's always fun.
All right. More of the Coffee and program coming up. Please stay tuned to ON Radio.
Before you head to Wachusett Mountain, head to Wachusett.com.
Buy your tickets in advance and save. You can also buy lessons, rentals, and more.
Your day on the slopes is just one click away.
For our live webcam, latest conditions,
And discounted tickets.
go to Wachusett.com.
The Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts invites you to its annual Mardi Gras celebrations, starting with the Queen's coronation and unmasking of King Jace on Sunday, February 12th at Savini's Pomodoro, followed by the Mardi Gras Ball on Saturday, February 18th at the St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center. Visit the Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts website at nrica.org for details.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Ed Carew. Gary Smith has joined us of the Do You Remember fame. How are you there, Gary?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Nice to have you
Ed.
here with us.
How you doing?
Now, Ed was telling us off air that today, right, Ed? Today, Congress is going to take up the whole Taylor Swift ticket buying fiasco that took place a few months ago. And I asked Ed, well, what are they going to do? And he gave me the great answer: absolutely nothing. So, are they going to be asking people at Ticketmaster questions? Are the Ticketmaster people coming into Congress to say, well, this is what happened?
What did Ronald Reagan say about the
Ticketmaster?
government offering to help?
Yeah. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. Yikes.
Run!
It's funny because the whole Taylor Swift, not the buying of tickets, but the price of tickets, and the whole Bruce Springsteen had really high ticket prices when his shows are coming up pretty soon. Actually, didn't this get floated down to Jimmy Buffett? Jimmy Buffett is doing a few shows in Florida in February. Ticket prices $500, and people are complaining online. She goes, "I used to go see this guy. It used to cost me $20. What in the world is going on?" And Ticketmaster just says, "Well, this is what the market bears." And I went in to try to buy tickets to the 3 shows. They're all sold out. Ticketmaster's right. If people are going to pay for it, why not sell them at that price?
That's the American way.
That is the American way,
I,
right?
I don't see the problem here.
The problem is, I want to go see Jimmy, and I don't want to pay $500. That's my problem.
Well, you have part to blame because you promote him.
I am to blame, I guess. I'm not saying go to a show. I'm letting you know when his shows are available. It's up to you if you want to go. It's not up to me.
I went to the.
I'm not putting a gun to your head.
Remember a couple of years ago they did the drive-in thing.
Yes.
I went to
You went to that?
I went to that at the Menden Drive-In.
What did it cost you?
It was not cheap, but it was like $45 a piece, something like
Oh,
that.
all right.
I mean, but there was a cover band that was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual broadcast was terrible. We didn't stay. We
No?
stayed about 15 minutes into it. The sound was so horrible.
Sound was bad?
It was
Okay.
painful. So
All right. Well,
But
I'm
that's-
I'm interested to see what Ticketmaster does with the Congress today. See what kind of answer they could possibly give.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't be waiting for a resolution at any time.
Well, they're going to pull a Southwest Airlines and just say, "Well, our system crashed. Sorry, we were overwhelmed, and the whole thing crapped out."
I think people really need to get their priorities straight when it comes to this kind of stuff, though.
Concerts, you mean?
Thousands of dollars for anything.
Gary, I'm telling you, I've seen it online. People that these are the Springsteen fans that say, I need to see him. I don't want to see him. I need to see him. Doesn't matter where it is. who's got tickets, I'll fly to wherever he will be.
You got to have some,
That I don't quite understand.
some kind of a social conscience here.
Well, all right.
That-
But I don't,
Gary's right about this is not something new. It's been going on.
Well,
It's
that's
the
right.
American
Oh, yeah,
way.
it's all
Yeah.
relative to.
You know, when I had the supermarket years ago, this is back in the 80s,
All right.
early 80s, you know, and every now and then you would take a course or you would go see somebody from the industry that would be speaking to try to, you know, show you better ways or
Of
different
doing so.
ways
Okay.
or whatever. And one time we listened to a guy and his idea on pricing, he was talking about meat.
Mm-hmm.
He says you put out, and he was talking specifically about bacon and hot dogs, you know, the stuff that's prepackaged in the side deli case stuff.
Yeah.
He says what you should do is put a price on it, and if it sells, a couple weeks later, raise the price by a nickel, and continue raising it by a nickel a pound until it doesn't sell, and then back it off by a nickel, and that's your price. He says that's how you should determine your pricing.
You determine in market value at that point. So
Right,
it's
you
very
know,
simple.
which is that was the way that he was trying to get people
Yeah.
to go, and I say, but that actually makes no sense. You know?
But if you're buying it and the price goes up, you got to raise it a lot more than just a nickel.
Well, there were a couple of competing theories, which we
Okay.
won't get into. There was the
Yeah.
regular percentage markup, and then there was the theory of cents per pound markup.
Well,
And-
I sell real estate for a living, and I have a new construction project of 65 houses. And every 3 or 4 houses, which is basically a little small phase, we reprice everything. And the powers that be, you know, the company that I'm working for, raises the price $20,000. And we have done this for 4 years consistently. Every single, you know, maybe 3, 4, 5, half dozen maybe houses, the price goes up 20,000. And I have a waiting list of people waiting
Waiting to buy?
to buy these houses. These are we're almost up to $1 million now for these houses.
Wow.
They're in the mid 9s right now.
Yeah.
But my thought about this whole Taylor Swift thing is now Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, all these major singers that are selling out for this ridiculous amount of money. These are the biggest liberals in the world. And they're not allowing the poor people, their poor fans, to come and see them by being priced out of the thing. So they should have a concert in like 3 or 4 different regions of the country where they offer $30 tickets.
But if you believe what the artists say, they say they have absolutely no say in what the pricing of the tickets are.
Oh, really?
That's what they say. I don't know if you want to believe that or not.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tweeter Center or whatever the heck it is they'll call these days. I'm not going to come to your show.
Xfinity Center.
Xfinity.
And they say, yeah, it's the venue that
Yeah.
determines the price.
You can't tell me they don't have any power?
I think they have a lot of power.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens with the. I'm sure Taylor Swift will be appearing in Congress there, right?
I think she's scheduled to.
Oh, is she? Oh, I was just
think
kidding.
so, but you know,
Wow. Okay.
I could be wrong. They
All
could
right.
change their mind. They could send a representative.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of now the government getting involved, which you always like so much, Gary. This is out in Utah. Top Utah state officials plan to sue major social media companies over alleged harms they pose to children. The government needs to protect you from yourself.
Well, I do believe that social media is a curse on this country.
Okay.
And I think it's responsible for an awful lot of societal ills that we experience.
Governor Spencer Cox said the companies have known their platforms can negatively impact the mental health of children and teens and have done nothing to address these concerns. Officials offered a few details about what the litigation might look like and which companies the state would target. Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes said lawsuits have yet to be filed, but the state is considering any and all claims against various sites.
It's real simple. Just create a minimum age. They already have one, allegedly, but I think it's 16 for Facebook.
Oh, I think it's 13.
13? Well, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It should be 21. All right, 18.
Well, I don't know about that. So
You're talking to a guy who used to ground his daughter for 6 months at a time, so I'm pretty strict.
Wow, jeez.
And that's for not eating her dinner.
But there's they're all free to join. So
That's the problem.
that it's free to join.
They should charge. Then you could get
But
rid of
then
a lot of this advertising.
They lose a
Yes.
lot. Get rid of a lot of the riffraff that way.
Yeah.
But then you go back and charge the people that have been on it. Let's say you've been using Facebook for 10 years.
Yeah.
You now get charged for using it?
Well, it depends how much they charge. Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Well, people aren't going to like that. People
Well, it
don't-
depends
people-
what
when
you're
you get
gonna
something
charge.
when you get something for free, people hate getting charged for it after the fact.
Yeah, but I think that some people would say just to get rid of these stupid sponsored ads that they put on your feed, right? Where you look through the first 5 pages of your feed, and there's probably 25 ads for crap that you're never going to buy from companies that are half of them illegitimate. I would pay them so many dollars per month to get that crap out of there.
All right.
No, I'm not going to pay them $100 a month.
No.
But
what, 10?
$5 or $10 a month easily. Yeah.
All right. You wouldn't pay anything, would you, Gary?
I'm only on Facebook, and I use it only because I need to have some kind of a presence because I'm in business.
People can find you.
Because
Okay.
I'm in business.
Yeah.
Where our little free town publication went out of business, so I have no way to tell my community, that I'm still around.
So you use it that way. All right. All right, we'll see if this lawsuit, by the way, goes anywhere out there in Utah. I think if you're going to sue Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, I think you don't have a leg to stand on. I think it's going to be very tough to prove that they are causing harm to children. Very, very difficult.
Oh, I don't think it would be difficult to make a case.
You can make it stick and make them guilty. Although you may get them guys to settle. Will you take $20,000 and go away?
Well, maybe there's some nuisance value to it.
It could be. All right. So this is extremely important.
I doubt it.
M&Ms. They had to
Don't
make
get
a
me started.
statement.
You can't end on this with only 3 minutes to go.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
M&M's is good. They're retiring, at least for a little while. They're spokes candies, the yellow and the red guy and the green woman, and they're gonna go with Maya Rudolph. She will appear in the M&M's Super Bowl ad. She's a lifelong lover of the candy. He said the partnership was something little Maya would be thrilled about. Well, she doesn't. Hang on. She'll be taking over the brand's beloved spokes candies while they're put on an indefinite pause. The move comes after consumers criticized their recent redesign. I haven't seen the recent redesign, so I haven't had a chance to criticize it yet. So is there a real issue with M&M's, Gary?
Mars Company seems to have a real inflated idea of who they are.
Of how
and what
important they are?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so Maya Rudolph's in, and I like the red and the green, the yellow and the red.
There is
M&Ms.
no taste difference in the colors. You realize that, don't you?
Oh, I know, but the red ones, the yellow ones are the peanut ones, and the red guy is the plain ones. There's the taste difference, not in the shell,
Oh,
but in
okay.
the.
All right. I do prefer the peanut ones.
So do I.
Yeah.
Now, what about dark chocolate peanut M&Ms?
There's no such thing as dark chocolate.
Yes, there is, as opposed to milk chocolate.
No.
Oh, yes, there is,
No,
Gary.
there's chocolate, which is all chocolate is milk chocolate. Dark chocolate is a poor attempt to make something else.
Wow, I disagree. I don't think
Dark chocolate is healthier for you.
That's right.
Which
Yeah.
means it cannot be chocolate.
All right. Let's see. Yankee Candle in Deerfield, Connecticut. Deerfield, Massachusetts. I'm sorry. The parent company, Yankee, they're closing their corporate headquarters. The parent company of Yankee Candle is a company called Newell Brands, and they're cutting 10% of its global workforce. Another company had cutting their workforce. Employees out there in Deerfield, which is in Western Mass, will remain with the company. Will be moving to other existing offices in the area. The closures will not impact the research and development lab opened by Yankee Candle in Deerfield 3 years ago. And I mentioned this, Dave. I am amazed that Yankee Candle is still in business because you can buy candles anywhere.
I'm amazed that it's still in business because candles are the worst thing you can have in your home.
Why, fire hazard?
They're not only a fire hazard, but the
Smoke?
soot and smoke or whatever that they when that candle burns,
Yeah.
the physical nature of the candle is still in your house. It's just spread around with black crap all over the place.
Wow. Ed, do you have thoughts on candles?
I don't have a problem with candles.
Yeah, Ed's. Sorry, Gary.
I got a problem with everything.
I guess so. We need you down in Delaware because they keep finding files, classified files with Joe Biden, going back to his senator days. He keeps saying, "Oh, I didn't know they were there. No, I forgot about them."
Of course he does.
What-
He doesn't know what he
how
had
did-
for breakfast
how
this
did-
morning.
how did that-
Why would he know where something is from 10 years ago?
How did that get there? All right, we got to run. The show's come to an end. Thank you very much for listening. We thank Linda Tebow for coming in. Gary Smith, thanks for popping in for the last few minutes here. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Do you remember coming up at 9:30 today, right?
I'll be there.
Very good. Ed Carew, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone. And once again, Gary Smith, the crew. Do you remember at 9:30?
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.